Hello, it's Lesley Fightmaster, and today's class is Yoga for Strength, and this was requested by Molly and also by Geraldine Shields a while back. So I hope that you enjoy it. Bring your hands together in front of your heart and take a moment to set your intention for your practice. Remember that all intentions are always welcome. You could use a word or a phrase. And then we'll make our way onto the hands and knees and take your hips back to your heels, extending the arms in front of you for child's pose. And in this child's pose, begin to connect with your breath. So inhaling, exhaling through the nose with a slight constriction in the back of your throat as you're breathing. This is called Ujjayi Pranayama, and it helps to warm the body from the inside. Also helps to keep our focus. So we'll come up onto the knees, tuck the toes into down dog, making sure the arms are shoulder distance apart and the feet are hips width, and then just start to bend one knee and the other as you begin to warm up your hamstrings and calves. Bicycling the legs, then bend both knees, hips up high, and straighten out the legs any amount. Try and keep as much length through your spine as you can. Spread out your fingers nice and wide and press onto the base of the fingers as you lift up through the forearms. And begin to spin your outer upper arms, your triceps, back towards your feet, and your biceps, your inner upper arms, spin those toward the front of your mat. So you have an external rotation of your arm in your shoulder socket. On your inhale, make your way forward into plank pose. Please put your knees down if you want some extra support, or if you have any issues with your shoulders, please put the knees down. I did a little neck release. You're welcome to move your head a little bit. Keep your belly lifted, keep the backs of your knees lifted, and reach your tailbone towards your heels. Exhale back into down dog, lifting the hips. Arms and ears are in line. Again, keep the breath nice and steady. Inner thighs are spinning back. The heels are reaching toward the floor. Inhaling back into plank pose. Backs of the knees lifted, belly lifted. Shift forward about an inch. Going to lower slowly. 5, 4, hug the elbows in. 3, put the knees down if you need to. 2, and 1, all the way down. Hands by the low ribs. Point the toes straight back. Inhale for cobra. Peel your chest up. Draw your shoulder blades away from the ears. And then lower down. And then tuck the toes, lift the knees, or you can keep the knees down. We're going to press all in one piece up to plank slowly. So lifting slowly, slowly all the way up to plank. And then lifting the hips again, coming down into downward facing dog. Gaze between the knees or the feet. Again, spread out the fingers, press into the base of the fingers, lift away with the forearms. And look up to your hands, bend the knees, step or hop up. As you inhale, come halfway up and lengthen. As you exhale, fold forward, bend the knees as needed. Inhale, press down through your feet and reach all the way up, looking up. Exhale the hands to the heart. Samastitihi. Surya A. Inhale, sweep your arms up. As you exhale, hinge from your hips and come all the way forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine, come halfway up. Keep the belly lifted. Exhale, bend the knees. Step back into plank pose. We're going to slowly lower chaturanga, shoulders no lower than the elbows. Pause for a moment. Then inhaling into up dog or cobra and exhaling back into down dog. So we're going to take a couple of rounds of Surya Namaskara A, moving mindfully. If you've been practicing with me for a while, you've probably taken a lot of sun salutations, and sometimes we've kind of just moved through them without even realizing. So today, we'll just spend a little extra time and spend a little extra attention. So stretching back, reach down through the heels, look forward, bend the knees, stepping or hopping up. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold hips over heels. Inhale, press down through the feet, stretch all the way up, and exhale the hands to the heart. And again, inhale, sweep your arms out, around, and up, look up. Exhale, fold forward, hinging at the hip, shift the weight slightly forward to the balls of your feet. Inhale, lengthen your spine, look up. Exhale, step or float back, chaturanga. If you're floating back, land in chaturanga, pause. And inhale, press up into upward dog or cobra. Exhale, lift the hips, down dog. Coming back to your steady breath. So remember, you can always take your knees down to rest. Anytime you need a break, it's always an option. Looking forward, bend the knees, step or hop the feet up. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold into Uttanasana. Inhale, rooting down, reach all the way up, Utthita Hastasana. Exhale the hands to the heart, Samastitihi. Again, inhale, sweep the arms up and look up. Exhale, folding in, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up, lengthen. As you exhale, bend the knees, plant the palms, stepping back to plank or hopping into chaturanga. Knees can be down here. Lower slowly, chaturanga, pause. You can have your knees up or down. Then inhaling into up dog. And exhale, tuck the toes into downward facing dog. So if you want to modify your chaturangas, as we're moving slower today, it's a little more difficult. I'd rather you have your knees down than let your back arch, because if your back is arching, it's not safe for your back. Inhale back into plank pose. Then we're going to roll to the right. So shifting the weight to the pinky toe side of the right foot, lift the left arm up. You can take that bottom knee down to the floor for more support. You could also lift that top leg and put it forward on the ball of the foot, on the bottom of the foot. Bring your top hip a little bit forward. Spin your right inner elbow slightly toward the front of your mat. If you're steady, look up at your top hand. Feel free to take the knee down if you need any more support. Take your left hand to your side, look to the floor, come back to plank pose. Lower slowly through chaturanga, knees can be up or down. Inhale into up dog, roll the shoulder heads back, keep the belly lifted, and exhale into down dog. As you inhale, make your way back into plank, step your feet together, and we'll roll to the pinky toe side of the left foot, and stretch up through your right arm. Spin the left inner elbow slightly toward the front of your mat. Can take your bottom knee down for more support. Look up toward the top hand if it's okay with your neck, if you're steady enough. Reach your tailbone toward your heels. Bring your top hip a little bit forward. Keep your breath steady here. Bring your right hand to your side, look to the floor, make your way to plank. Lower slowly through chaturanga, elbows hugging in. Pause a moment. Inhale, press up through your hands and feet, thighs and knees off the floor. If you're in up dog, exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing here. See if you can come back to a nice, steady inhale and exhale. And then float your right leg up on your inhale. Bend the knee, open up your hip. Reach your left heel toward the floor. Now square off your hips and look forward. We'll lightly step it up right in the middle of the hands, spinning the back heel flat, making our way into Warrior Two. Line up your feet, front heel with the back arch. Make sure your right knee is directly above your ankle and your right knee points straight ahead over your middle toes. Then press your back thigh straight back, but a little lift of your back inner thigh. Lift your chest, soften your shoulder blades. Gaze over your front fingertips as you breathe. We want equal amounts of steadiness and strength and ease and comfort, stira and sukham. 50-50 of each, or 50% of each. Lower down a little bit more if you can. Try and get your front thigh parallel with the floor if possible. Keep lifting the belly, press weight into your front heel. Then lean your torso forward. Take your right forearm to your right thigh, taking your left arm over in line with the ear, or right hand to the block or the floor, pinky toe side of the foot. Reach that left arm in line with the ear and spin your tricep down. Try and bring your back hip a little bit forward, but keep weight in the outer edge of your back foot as you draw your outer ankle in and up. Make sure that you're still using plenty of your leg strength, maybe a little bit of arms if the hand is down. Inhale back to warrior two, and then drop the left arm, reverse your warrior, bend your right knee a little bit. Inhaling to come up and exhaling, windmill the arms down. Step back to plank slowly through chaturanga. Inhale, press up into up dog, inner thighs spin up toward the ceiling. Exhale, lift the hips, downward dog. Stretch back. Remember, push the pause button if you want to rest. Inhale the left leg up, bend the knee, open up the hip, pressing evenly through the arms, reach the right heel toward the floor. And then lift the leg to center, squaring off the hips, look forward, lightly step it up, line up front heel and back arch. Inhale to warrior two. So double check again that you are lined up your front heel with your back arch. And then as your left knee bends, make sure it points straight ahead over the middle toes and it's stacked above the ankle. Press back through the right leg, your back thigh. Lift your inner back thigh a little bit. Draw your lower belly in and up. Try and drop that left hip down toward the floor. Get the back arm as high as your front arm, widen across your collarbones. Gaze over your fingertips. Again, find equal amounts of steadiness and comfort. So the steadiness is, of course, in the arms and the legs. See if you can find some ease and comfort in the breath and in your gaze. Lower down a little bit more if you can. If you're at your edge, just stay. And then lean forward, take the left forearm to the left thigh, sweep the right arm up and over. Opening the chest toward the ceiling, you can take your left hand to a block if you like, or the floor, or keep forearm to thigh. Reach your right arm in line with the ear, spin the tricep down, looking up toward the inner right arm. Keep pressing the outer back foot down as you press the outer ankle in and up. So we want the arch lifted in the back foot. And keep your breath steady as you lift your belly, making sure your left knee is still above the ankle. And we'll be here just a few more breaths. This is our one way that we can cultivate strength, is by holding poses. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, drop the right arm in reverse. Inhale to come up, and exhale, windmill the arms down. Step back, slow chaturanga, pause. Inhale, press through the hands and feet, open the front of the body, and exhale, downward facing dog. Stretch all the way back. It's a good time to rest. If you'd like, take the knees down and take a break. And then we'll come onto the knees and onto the forearms. Interlace the fingers. Make sure your elbows don't go wider than the shoulders. Tuck your toes under and stretch into Dolphin Pose. Press the chest back toward the thighs. Reach the heels toward the floor. Draw your ribs and belly in and up. Then step back about a foot as you inhale. Ripple the spine forward so the chest comes forward. Hips and shoulders in the same line for Dolphin Plank. Lift the backs of your knees up. You're welcome to take your knees to the floor for a little more support here as well. But keep finding length and try not to let your head drop. There's a tendency for the head to just drop down, but then we lose the flow of prana, the flow of energy. Keep focusing on your breath. Lifting up through the lower belly, keep your belly muscles engaged, and then lift the hips. Walk your feet in back into Dolphin. As you press onto your forearms and elbows, lift the shoulders away from the floor gently. And then take a step back again. We'll come to Dolphin Plank. This time unclasp your hands, take your palms flat. We're going to roll to the pinky toe side of the right foot, lift the left arm up. Your right arm can be parallel with the outside of the mat, or you can turn the hand, move it in toward the middle. Take your top foot onto the floor for more support. Try to bring your top hip a little bit forward. Draw the belly in, lengthen the tailbone toward the heels. Look down to the floor. Take the left forearm down, roll to the pinky toe side of the left foot. Right arm is up. You can take that top leg to the floor for more support. Breathing here. Look up at your top hand if you're steady, if your neck feels okay with that. Keep lifting your belly. Tailbone's reaching to the heels. Top hip comes a little bit forward. And then back into Dolphin Plank and walk the feet in into Dolphin. So you're going to press onto the hands, lift the elbows off the floor, or take the knees down first and then make your way back into Down Dog. Then start to walk your hands and your feet toward each other. And grab your big toes. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and exhale to fold for Padangusthasana. So if you can straighten out your legs, pull up on the kneecaps, firm the quadricep muscles, shift your weight slightly forward so that you have a little more weight toward the balls of the feet. Usually the weight wants to hang out in the heels in this one. Reach the crown of the head toward the floor, but make sure your shoulders aren't creeping up around your ears. Steady breathing, light gaze off the tip of the nose. Inhale halfway up, exhale hands to hips, inhale back up to standing and walk to the front of the mat into Samastitihi. Feet together or hips width, together if it's comfortable enough. Bend the knees, touch your fingers to the floor, drop your belly onto your thighs, and then reach the arms up by the ears. Try to make this a low Utkatasana. Drop your tailbone down. Instead of shifting the weight toward the balls of the feet, shift it back toward the heels. Keep sitting back. Inner thigh spinning down. Slowly begin to straighten your legs, reach up, and then come right up onto the balls of your feet. So you're on the balls of the feet so we can strengthen our calf muscles. Stretch up tall. Sometimes it's hard to balance. If you fall out of it, no worries, just come right back in. Slowly back down, bend the knees, touch your fingertips to the floor if you can, belly to thighs. Hips are down, weight in the heels, then reach the arms forward in line with your ears. Drop the tailbone down, lift your hip points up, and keep pressing the weight back. So the shins are pressing back, the weight is in the heels, the inner thighs are spinning down, just like you're sitting in a chair. And then slowly fold forward into Uttanasana. Inhale, come halfway up. And exhale, step back into plank. Slowly lower through chaturanga. Inhale, press into upward facing dog. Toes are straight back behind you. Come back to plank, either hold it or halfway down chaturanga. Pressing up to plank and then lift the hips back into downward dog. Inhale the right leg up and exhale, lightly step it up. Stand the ball of your back foot for crescent, high lunge. And reach up nice and tall, pull the right hip back, drop the tailbone, lift your hip points up. Make sure your right knee is over your ankle. Press the weight into the front heel. Work through the back leg. So as you press the back heel back, drop the tailbone down. Lift the chest, reach up through arrow straight arms. Now if your knees are okay, slowly start to bend the back knee. Otherwise, keep it straight. Either tap it down or hover, then exhale, slowly straighten it. Inhale, slowly bend the back knee. Slow, 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 slow. Exhale, slowly straighten it out. One more. Inhale, slowly bend the knee. Exhale, slowly straighten the leg. Bring the hands down, step to plank. Chaturanga slowly. Inhaling to up dog. Back to plank, either hold it or slow chaturanga again, pressing straight up to plank and lifting your hips, down dog. Left leg floats up on the inhale, lift it from the inner thigh. Exhale, slowly step it up, stand the ball of your back foot, coming up into crescent. Pull the right hip back and send the left hip forward. Stretch up through arrow straight arms. Spin the triceps forward. Drop the tailbone down and lift your hip points up. Make sure the left knee is directly above the ankle and press weight into the front left heel. If you've got issues with the back knee, leave it straight. Otherwise, slowly bend it. Exhale, straighten the leg. Inhale, slowly, slowly bend that knee. You tap it down or just bend it a little. Exhale, slowly, slowly straighten it. Inhale to slowly bend. Exhale, straighten. Bring the hands down to the mat and step back. Chaturanga slowly. Inhale, thighs and knees off the floor if you're an up dog. Exhale, back to plank and extra chaturanga or not. Lift the hips, downward dog. Breathing here, remember, take a break if you'd like. Inhale to plank. Come onto your forearms. Back into Dolphin Plank. Feet together this time and squeeze. Squeeze the outer hips and inner thighs. Imagine you're holding a block between the inner thighs. Keep the belly lifted, heart forward and heels back. Backs the knees lifted. Slowly make your way onto your belly. Bring your arms alongside your torso, pointing the toes straight back still. Inner thighs still lifting like you're holding a block. And then lift everything up on the inhale. Pull the belly in. Exhale the legs wide. Inhale, squeeze them shut. Exhale, open the legs. Inner thighs still lifted. Inhale, squeeze the legs shut. Exhale, widen through the hips. Inhale, bring the legs together. Exhale one more time, widen the legs. Inhale, slowly bring them together, squeeze, and release and come down. It's a little strengthening for the back and also the outer hips and the inner thighs. Now the arms. So lift everything up again into Shalabhasana, this time arms in line with ears. Inhale here, exhale, bend your elbows, slowly pulling them back. Inhale, slowly reach the arms forward. Exhale, pull the arms back. Keep lifting the belly, tailbone to heels. Inhale, reach the arms forward slowly. Exhale, slowly pull the arms back. Inhale, slowly reach. Exhale, pull them back like you're moving through water. And then release and rest. So it's important to keep your back safe during these poses. So keep the belly pulled up, pubic bone dropping down, just gently pressing into the floor to help the tailbone reach to the heels. Lift everything up. Inhale. Exhale, bend your elbows and open up the thighs. Inhale, squeeze the legs slowly together, reach the arms forward. Exhale, bend at the elbows and open the legs. Inhale, slowly, slowly squeeze and reach. Exhale, slowly bend and open. Inhale, squeeze and reach. Exhale, bend the elbows, open the thighs. Inhale, squeeze and reach. Exhale, lower down, hands by the ribs, elbows up. Tuck the toes under, lift the knees up, or keep them down, pressing straight up to plank. And then chaturanga. Inhaling to up dog or cobra. Exhaling back into downward dog. Again, stretching back, lengthen out your spine, and look up. Either step or hop through and sit. Extend the legs in front of you, flex your ankles, pull your toes back. Bring your hands just a little in front of the hips and try to put your feet on a wood floor if you can. Then lift your hips up and start to lean forward as you pull your hips back so the hips are off the floor. Then slowly slide yourself back forward and sit down. Then walk your hands back about a foot, pressing up into Purvottanasana, reverse table. You can also do this with bent knees, which I'll show in a moment. And lower back down, bring the hands in front of the hips again. Pressing down, as you press into the hands, lean your torso forward, pull and drag your legs back. So your hips are moving back. You should really feel this in the low abs. Slowly start to slide the feet forward and sit back down. Bring your hands behind you. Pressing down, lifting up again. Purvottanasana. Press the feet flat into the floor if you can. Inner thighs spin down. It's a great strengthening pose. Come on back down slowly. Let's do one more. Hands in front of the hips. Pressing down, lift up, and start to pull your torso back. So hips go back, they lift. Keep holding up, rounding the back a little bit. Slowly extend the legs forward, sit back down. Hands behind. Now this is bent knees, or you can do straight again. Lift up. This is a great shoulder stretch as well. After all those chaturangas. Slowly sit yourself back down. Roll onto your back, setting up for bridge. Take your feet hips distance apart. Pressing into the heels and lift up to bridge. Roll the shoulders under, interlace your fingers. Spiral the thighs in toward each other. Keep your belly lifted, tailbones reaching to the backs of the knees. Make sure the outer edges of your feet are parallel with the outsides of your mat. This is also a very nice strengthening pose for the hamstring muscles. Come on down to rest. Soles of feet together, knees apart. And setting up for bridge again, feet hips width apart, outer edges of your feet parallel, arms by your sides. We're going to hold this one a little bit longer. Press into the heels, lift up, roll the shoulders under, interlace the fingers if you can or not. And breathe here, the chin away from the chest. Keep pressing down into the heels. As you press into the heels, try to isometrically pull them towards your head just a little bit. They're not going to move. They're just going to be going in that direction. That'll help engage the hamstring muscles. We do a lot of stretching of the hamstring muscles in our yoga practice, but not as much strengthening. So enjoy this little strengthening exercise. Keep reaching the tailbone to the backs of the knees, chin away from the chest. Widen through the collarbones. Slowly release and lower down. Soles of feet together, knees apart. Take a little rest. All right, one more bridge, or if you'd like to take wheel pose, bring your hands up by your ears, fingers face the heels, press onto the crown of your head first. Line up your wrists and your shoulders, elbows parallel, and then press up. Make sure your feet don't turn out. Try and get length here as well, so stretching out the front of the body, tailbone to backs of knees, chest toward the back of the mat, arms and ears in line. Breathe into the chest. Imagine you have a block that you're holding between the inner thighs. Chin into chest first and then rolling down. Hug the knees into the chest and rock yourself gently side to rest. Start to roll back and forth. Take 2 or 3 rolls up and down your spine. Come up to seated. And then take the soles of your feet together and your knees apart. Sit up nice and tall on your inhale. As you exhale, hinge from the hips with a long spine forward. So leading with the chest, reach the crown of your head forward. Try not to let the head drop and try not to let the back round. Then come up a little bit on your inhale, and now we will let the back round and the head drop. So rounded back a little forehead to feet, but make sure that you're not bringing your shoulders up around your ears. Inhale to come up and take your toes, shift your weight back, pick your feet up, start to extend the right leg out to the side any amount. Slowly bring it back to center. You're sitting up on the sit bones, left leg out to the side slowly. And inhale to center. Exhale both legs out slowly. Try to balance, staying up on your sit bones. Lift your chest, long spine, then release your feet, but let your legs stay up. Keep the legs up, up, up. Keep the belly lifted, the chest lifted. Keep breathing here. Just a couple more breaths. If you need to bend the knees, it's fine. If you can keep the legs straight, keep them straight. Then grab the toes again or the legs, bring the legs together. And set your feet down, extend the legs forward for Paschimottanasana. Inhale the arms up, exhale hinge forward. Inhale lengthen, lead with the chest, and exhale coming forward into Paschimottanasana, forward fold. Pull your toes back, flex your ankles. Again, try and keep your spine long instead of letting it round here. Inhale the head up and exhale to release. Come onto your back, draw your knees into your chest. Then hug your right knee in, extend your left leg out, and take your right knee over to the left side for a twist. Look over the right shoulder and breathe here. Come back to center. Draw the left knee in, extend the right leg out, and twist to the other side, taking the left knee over toward the right side. Turn, look over the left shoulder as long as it doesn't bother your neck. Inhale back to center. And get ready for Shavasana. So I'm going to take a blanket and roll it, put it under my knees because I like it. It feels comfortable. And then as you're ready, lie all the way back. Let your feet flop open, your arms by your sides, the palms facing up, and then just allow everything to relax. A quote from Helen Keller: "Character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experience of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, ambition inspired, and success achieved." And then begin to take some deeper breaths here. Start to make movements in your fingers and your toes. Move through your hands and your feet, and your arms and your legs. And you'll slowly make your way up to seated as you're ready. Character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experience of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, ambition inspired, and success achieved. Press yourself up to seated. Let's bring the hands together in front of the heart. Sit up nice and tall. We'll bring our hands to the forehead to remind us to have clear and loving thoughts. Hands to heart center, reminding us to have clear and loving intentions. And hands to the mouth to remind us to have clear and loving communication. Send out this wonderful energy to all beings everywhere. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed the class. If you did, please push that like button and leave us a comment and subscribe to our channel. Share our classes with your friends. It's our mission to bring yoga to as many people as we can possibly reach. That's why we like to offer free classes. But if you can afford to support us through a donation, there is a link below to donate through PayPal. Or go to Fightmaster Yoga, push the Amazon link. There's like a little logo there, and you can do your Amazon shopping through our website. It doesn't cost you anything more, but it helps to support us. And check me out on Instagram, Lesley Fightmaster.